Hello. So I cleaned out my bookshelves this morning, which means I got a lot of books to unhaul. Generally, I always clean them out at the end of the year. Other than that, if I don't like a book, I don't keep it. I just get rid of it right away. And there are a couple of those at the end, but most of these are books that I did really enjoy, because they were on my on my bookshelf for a good amount of time. So yeah, let's go through them. Normally with these, I put them in my fifth grade classroom. I give them to my mom because she has to teach us high school English, or I sell them on eBay. So first up, I've got a paperback horror. I've got The Hand of Cain by Martin Thomas. This one I kept for so long because it's just batshit. It's crazy. There's so much going on. But I was going through. I'm like, it's not my favorite. So we're getting rid of it. After that, I've got some Kevin Smith comic books. I've got Blunt Man and Chronic. I have Clerks, and I have Chasing Dogma. And I was really into Kevin Smith in college. I still really enjoy his movies. But this probably aren't things that I would need to keep around. It's not something that I'm going to probably continue to be into. At least beyond the movies. I'm also getting rid of The Kill Riff by David Chow. Again, really fun horror novel, really fun mass market paperback. Crazy, lots of stuff going on here, but not something that I need to keep around. I'm also getting rid of a Carrie Mesrobian book. I'm getting rid of Sex and Violence by Carrie Mesrobian. This is really interesting YA. It really does kind of push the envelope a lot. But yeah, I think it's interesting that we do have, it is a book following a male main character who does get physically assaulted and has lots of PTSD, but he really gets really concerned about this, and he really can't handle it a lot. And I think a lot of the times whenever we have characters who do get physically assaulted, beat up and stuff like that, sometimes we don't, as authors, really think about how much of a psychological effect that can have on people. So that was interesting. But I don't need to keep this around. Also getting rid of this arc of Straight Expectations by Callum McSwiggan. I really like this book. I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought it would be stupid. I thought I would read this and be this is gonna be the dumbest thing ever. But I thought it was really it had a lot of heart, and it had a lot going for it that I wasn't expecting. I thought it was well written. I liked the main character. I thought he was going to be really just annoying and stereotypical, but it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. I'm also finally, over the past couple of years, I've been slowly just getting all the banned memoirs off of my shelves because I had a phase where I was just reading a ton of them, and I think this might be the last one. This might be the last one that survived, and that is Stephen Adler's My Appetite for Destruction. This book was heartbreaking, and his fucking ghostwriter did a great job, because what this book did is that it really, you could feel the shift in tone the longer it went on, and it was a really sad book, and I really enjoyed it. But it's finally time to let go of it. Also, it doesn't have the dust jacket, and the dust jacket's pretty, and maybe if it had the dust jacket I'd be keeping it, but it doesn't, so that's why I'm not keeping it. All right, I'm also getting rid of my Aaron Beauregard. So I've got two here. Where's the other one? I've got two that I've read. I have a couple more in the book. Well, I'll read them. I do kind of want to keep reading his stuff, but he's not very good. And when I talk about the difference between extreme horror and splatterpunk, Aaron Beauregard is always who I pull up as the kind of the epitome of extreme horror, because in my mind, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, I've talked about it a million times because I'm kind of obsessed with it. Extreme horror is splatterpunk, but without all the feeling. The extreme horror authors will write stuff that is so clinical, and they'll describe everything, but you don't feel it. You don't get sticky with it. So I've got The Slob and Dark Assembly, neither of which I'm keeping. They're just not very good. I think he's kind of a mid-writer, and I don't need to keep him around. Cause it's just, I gave this one 3.5 stars. I gave this one 4 stars. This is short stories. And like I said, I will keep reading him, and I do have some of his books in the book wall that I will be reading, but I don't need to keep him around. I've also got another mass market paperback that is Peregrine by William Bayer. One of the main reasons I kept this for long so I did annotate it. This was nuts. There was so much going on in this book. Basically, the concept of this book is that we've got this guy who trained a falcon to murder people, like, and it murders people, like, just out and about, and then he eventually, like, kidnaps this woman and, like, turns her into a bird. Like, not like a real bird, but, like, in a sex way. It's a lot. There was a lot going on here. Like, this was nuts. That's why I kept it, because it was nuts. All right, then we've got two horror novels that were really, really good, that I really, really liked. I liked both of them. They're both wonderful. I just didn't really want to keep them around. And one of these I'm actually reconsidering, because it gets compared to Lord of the Flies a lot. And I'm like, I love Lord of the Flies. I just read it. Anyway, the one that I'm not reconsidering, The Devil Take You Home by Gabino Iglesias. This was wonderful. I really like this. I followed Iglesias on Twitter for a long time, and I've always really liked him there. And I read his book a couple years ago, last year, March, like almost exactly a year. I read this last year, March, in 2023, and it was really good. But I have a lot of books, so I'm getting rid of it. This next one is the one that I'm not sure about. Maybe I should reread it. Maybe I should reread it and decide. I just read this last year too, though. I think I might keep it. No. Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. Like I said, like, I'm really on the fence about this. I think I'm getting rid of it. It was good though. And like I said, like, it's compared to Lord of the Flies. And if something is compared to Lord of the Flies, I'm like all there, because Lord of the Flies is my favorite book in the world. But like, I did read this. No, I'm getting rid of it. It's going. Goodbye. I'm also getting rid of Manson by Jeff Gwynne, Jeff Gwynne is like one of the best true crime writers out there. He's amazing. I really like how he uses, he picks these people and these events that are very much affected. Like, they could not have happened at any other time. And he really uses that to flesh out the story of this person's life or whatever happened. And this was really, really good. It's a great, great biography of Charles Manson, but I don't probably need to keep it around. All right, I got Dreamthorpe by Chet Williamson. This was crazy. This was nuts. Now we're into the books that I just read recently. Also, look at this cover. This cover's beautiful. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't need it. I'm also getting rid of Compulsion by Martina Boone, which is better than I remember it being. I read this when I was younger. It was not good, but better than I remember it being. Also getting rid of The Rascals from Haskell's Gym by Frank Bonham, which, like, encouraged bulimia a little bit, which was a little weird. Getting rid of, this is one of the worst books I've read this year and ever. The Red Labyrinth by Meredith Tate. Oh my god, if you take every single, like, young adult dystopian trope and shoves it into one stupid little book, it's The Red Labyrinth. It's terrible. Getting rid of The River by Gary Paulson. I'm not a Paulson girl. I've never been a Paulson girl. I don't like Gary Paulson all that much. I didn't like him when I was a kid. I don't like him that much now, but I do, like, objectively speaking, I can understand why he's important. Kindred by John Gideon. Fun time. Don't need to keep it. And finally, This Foul Murder by Chloe Gong, which is one of the little novellas. This is the Benedict and Marshall one, and they're really the only thing I care about in these Violent Delights thing, because I just like the Ben Q show. That's what it does. But yeah, that's my little unhaul. Hopefully, I'll be reading a lot this month. I'm doing 30 and 30. It's April, so that'll be some stuff. And I'm not keeping all these mangas. So some of these are like mangas that, like, new series that I'm trying out. So some of these I won't be keeping. Some of them I will be, I would assume. But not all of them. So that'll be a fun time. That is everything. I'll talk to you later, and goodbye.